she left sanctuary from deportation through the front door, thanks to a backdoor deal crafted through Congress. CU's graduation tends to get all the attention, but these grads deserve their due too.
It was one of the happiest moments of my life, just to be able to walk across that stage.
And your good news, it's a boy. Next. All of us should be so fortunate as to be personally insulted one day by the North Korean government, because the translations are hilarious. Republican Senator Cory Gardner recently called Kim Jong-un a whack job and a crazed maniac. North Korea fired back, calling our senator a psychopath and human dirt, saying that he, quote, has lost basic judgment and body hair. Crazy and hairless. Politics is a tough business. We have promised here to call out bogus stories and deception. I had a hard time with that this weekend when I had that situation staring me in the face. A few thousand of you have had a conversation with me about it since on social media. I'm not sure I did the right thing, and I'm interested in your view today. To catch you up on this, if you missed it, I was at a brewery, as I do, and the guy on the next bar stool over, he was going on and on about how the Aurora theater shooting and other mass killings were government conspiracies staged with actors. So my first thought was that I should headbutt him, but violence doesn't cure stupidity, and I used my face for work. I also decided it was probably best not to publicly argue with him. But I wanted him to know that a majority of people in that brewery, in this state, in this world, people who sit there silently in the face of this garbage, do so out of contempt for those views and not acceptance. So I paid my tab, I asked the bartender for a sheet of paper, and wrote down the names of the people killed in Aurora. Real people, not actors. Brothers and daughters, fathers, friends. And I wrote that his idiocy attempts to defile their memory and fails. Handed him the note and left. Didn't stick around to see his reaction. Since then, I've been thanked by some people who got out of that theater that night, by the families of people who didn't make it out. Others have called me a coward. They're particularly fond of one word that the FCC will not allow me to say. But I would now like to hear from you. How would you have handled it if you were on the next bar stool over? Should I have done more? Was it wrong to post about it on social media? We try to bring you the answers whenever we feel that we have them, but tonight I just bring you those questions. Let me know what you think. The city of Denver is now on Twitter, which is really exciting news if this is the year 2007. 10 years later, it's more like, how's the city of Denver not been on Twitter before now? So, good afternoon, Denver. The city and county of Denver is now on Twitter, hashtag first tweet. You will forgive us for noticing that this tweet actually came out on Monday. It did take Denver a full decade to realize that Twitter is not a fad that's going away. So please, I invite you, follow the city, give them the business, welcome them to Twitter. Their Twitter handle is City of Denver. Don't at me, Mayor Hancock. America's immigration debate is loud and public, continuous and contentious, but all the while, there has been this quiet backdoor way for members of Congress to pick people who are here illegally, pick particular people, and give them safe status. It's done through private bills. Using that process, the two best-known people who are living in Colorado illegally will get to stay just a little bit longer. A private bill is just like any other bill in Congress, like Obamacare, Trumpcare, but private bills, which start for the relief of, they're generally used as a last resort to fend off the deportation of someone who's here illegally. Democratic Senator Michael Bennet introduced a private bill for Jeanette Vizqueta in March and Arturo Hernandez in April. These are his first private bills in 7.5 years in the Senate. Democratic Congressman Jared Polis has introduced a private bill for Vizqueta 3 of the last 4 years. And earlier this month, Democratic Congressman Ed Perlmutter brought his second private bill for Hernandez. Let's look at the bigger picture. Nationwide, 7 senators and 13 representatives from 10 different states have introduced private bills for more than 45 individuals who are in this country illegally. It's mostly Democrats introducing these deportation-stopping private bills. Just 3 of the lawmakers involved are Republicans. But back to Colorado. The private bills, like the ones for Vizqueta and Hernandez, they don't tend to go anywhere, but that's not the point. They essentially trigger a 2-year stay of deportation just by being introduced. The Trump administration is now threatening to largely shut down the process. But the ICE decision means Vizqueta and Hernandez are 2 of the last people to be allowed through what the president himself might call a big, beautiful door in a wall that is yet to be built. Thanks to the crack work of the Congressional Research Service, we know that in the last 10 years, There have been 455 private bills, meaning 455 automatic stays for people who are here illegally. Today's actions did not clear out Denver's sanctuary churches. We know of one person remaining, a woman who's taking shelter at a Quaker church in southeast Denver. There's no private bill in Congress on her behalf yet because she's still working through her legal options. So sitting in a crowd at a graduation, as your eyes slowly glaze over as you count the number of names remaining before the one name that brought you there to graduation, during that moment of boredom, it's easy to forget that some of the anonymous people in cap and gown crossing the stage have extraordinary stories in their wake. Byron Reed took his camera to Metro State and found two such hidden stories today.
Janelle Henderson.
For most graduating from Metro State University,
Jesus Quintana Martinez.
Getting through the pomp and circumstance of graduation is a special moment.
It's definitely been a huge process.
But for Emily Zimmerman, getting to graduation was a different kind of journey.
As a sophomore in high school, I lost my vision due to a brain tumor.
Emily and her family moved here from South Carolina to help fulfill her childhood dream.
And I had always had the dream of going to college and knew that I needed training in order to do that.
Training by means of her father.
I became Emily's human guide dog,
who was with her almost every step of the way.
I would go to campus with her every day and help her get from class to class. Some of the classes even sit on with her in the beginning.
Including today. He's here helping his daughter take another step to fulfilling her dream.
Emily Zimmerman.
A journey that creates lifetime memories for about 1,700 graduates.
Ooh.
Like Eduardo Rascon III.
This has been quite a journey.
Who will be the first in his family to graduate with a college degree.
It means the world to me. If it wasn't for my family, I wouldn't be where I am.
So for most graduates, getting through today is a celebration of what they've learned in the classroom.
Eduardo Rascon III.
But for others, getting to today is a celebration of life's lessons learned along the way.
We can overcome them and get through them in different ways, and that's what I hope to be able to do.
For Next, I'm Byron Reed.
This week's good news came surprisingly early, as this type of good news sometimes does.
My good news is I gave birth to Wiley on May 10th at 10 o'clock in the morning, and he's my new addition to our family.
I think this is pretty good news right here. This is Johan, our first baby.
We had him just 2 hours ago. That's a great news for us today.
I just gave birth to Joseph Henry here.
My good news is a healthy mom and brand new baby girl.
Now we're a family of 4.
We have someone new and special to celebrate this year.
No, it'll be giving thanks to the woman who had brought my son into the world.
People are so excited about their new addition to their families.
We could not be more excited, neither could our families.